Well, welcome to podcast number 2. Chris and I are here today. Nate unfortunately couldn't make it today, so it's just going to be us talking. We still don't have a name for this thing.
No. We need to think of one, and then we need a better intro.
We do need a better intro.
I like the one we have now.
It's the same one that we use for our blogs, and I think we need one uniquely for us. I mean, and at this point, we don't know if it's going to be a 2-man crew or a 3-man crew. Either way, we need to figure something out.
Yeah, I don't know. Trial and error. Like I said, we still don't even have a name for the thing, so
Nope.
It's one of those, like, we're gonna have to brainstorm.
Yeah, we anticipated,
but
the first couple episodes just figuring this out, figuring out how to do it, and
I mean, that's exactly right. I mean, we literally, just for a little backstory for you guys, we literally just on a whim decided, like, Chris and I will listen to podcasts pretty often, and we just decided that maybe it's something that we should just dip our feet into and see what happens. And so our plan is we're going to do probably 4 or 5 podcasts and not advertise them at all. We're just going to put them out on our YouTube, on whatever else that we use, decide to use this for, because that's all we're using it for right now, and just see where it goes. If it gains its own traction, great. If we have to push it a little bit, we'll try it and see it. But, I mean, we don't even know if we're going to like it.
Yeah.
And so, it's a little different for both of us. We've never done anything like this. I've always done videos, but podcasts, never really thought about doing my own.
Yeah, it's one of those where, like, I don't know, do I look right at there, or do I just look at you and just have a regular conversation? But most the ones that we watch, I'm sure it's just regular conversation. Like, we're just talking.
Oh, yeah.
There's no script.
I'm going to be honest. I forgot my glasses over there. And I'm, like, looking at this, and I'm like, ooh. So, just keep the conversation going.
Yeah. Oh, should I start off with what we're going to talk about today?
Yeah, talk about the topics.
Yeah, so the topic overviews that we're going to talk about today are our top 3 upgrades on vehicles, online build generator. On our website, we have a system that lets you put in your vehicle and shows you all you can do to it. So we're going to talk about some of the pros and cons about that. And we're going to talk about the great debate, folding or rolling tonneau covers. I think me and Marty will agree on that one, but we'll see how it goes. But we'll start off with the top 3 upgrades. Let's say, what is it, a new vehicle that you just purchased, stock?
Yeah, new vehicle straight off the lot. I'd say, I mean, this probably goes for used vehicles too, but majority of the time, new vehicles are not going to have these. Sometimes the used vehicles are. So, what's your, like, number 3? Like, we'll rank them 3 to 1. What's your number 3 have to have?
Number 3, I would definitely say I was going to say spray and bed line, but I think that should be 2. Headlights. I cannot stand shitty headlights. And ever since I got those arc extreme LEDs
the
on my
arc
vehicle,
lighting.
Holy shit.
Yeah, those extreme series.
Are
in the words of Greg Murphy, they are fucking offensive.
Oh. So that would be my 3. Ranking from 3 to 1, right? So number 3, headlights.
Yeah, we put those in Kayla's Jeep too, and they were, like, we put a light bar in the bumper with those headlights, and when you flip the light bar on, cool.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't do anything. I was like, really?
Yeah.
Like, that's amazing. And especially to come out of a projector headlight, like halogen headlights for sure makes a better light output, but projectors are always hit or miss, and hers, like, night and day difference on that thing.
I definitely piss some people off. I've had cars just flash me, and I'm like, dude, I promise it's not my high beams. I would flash them, and they'd think I'm flashing them back, but, like, I'm trying to show you the difference. Like,
but the crazy part,
I'm not trying to do this.
You know how, like, most lifted trucks, like, we get calls all the time, and they're like, well, do you guys adjust the headlights when you lift it? And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I don't have a good way to do it. It's more on you than anything.
Yeah.
But, like, my truck, before I put the new headlights in, I never adjusted them once. And I can count on one hand how many times I got flashed in 2 years.
Yeah.
Like,
I think the best way, and I learned this at the body shop, is going up flat surface right to where your garage door is. Then you can
hit a hard line on it. Yeah, that is the one
But
thing I will say
here
I
it's
don't
kind
like
of-
about mine, because like mine now
Yeah.
is the hard line on them sucks.
Really?
Because it's a dual projector.
Oh.
So you pull up to a garage and you've got this like jagged edge because where the
Yeah.
light meets from the second projector, and it's okay, but I found the best route for me was to go out into the middle of the country, and I adjusted them out on the side of the road.
Yeah.
So luckily mine are easy to do.
Yeah, with Andrew's vehicle, I just threw them in there and went with it, and
Yeah.
I would always get flashed. And then I finally was like, maybe I should look at where they're at. I had one fucker sitting this way, and the other was sitting way up high, so I was definitely flashing people that were driving past me.
That's not great.
So I adjusted them, and as of lately, I mean, we don't drive very late at night, but when we did, we would keep flash a lot. So now that they're both where they're supposed to be,
Yeah.
it's less. So sorry to those people that I flashed. I'm sure they hated me.
Understandable.
But those are some powerful little lights, man.
Yeah, I'm super impressed with them. I mean, my number 3, if we weren't doing LEDs, because that was my number 3 as well as LEDs, but I kind of put a little asterisk in there. If you have factory LEDs, obviously this means nothing to you.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to swap out your factory LEDs for aftermarket LEDs. That's just stupid.
Yeah.
So I kind of put in a little asterisk. My other number 3, if you had LEDs from the factory, would be some sort of bed liner.
Yep. That would be my number 2.
Yep. That's your number 2?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I could definitely put it up to number 2 as well. And I think there's a debate in itself of spraying bed liner or dropping bed liner. I've ran both. I like the drop-in because it's simple.
Yeah. Easy.
It gets the job done.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's plastic, but it's pretty freaking thick, and
Yeah.
it's easy to clean. But I have a spray-in bed liner now, and it's one of those, to be completely honest, if I wouldn't have got the deal that I got on mine, I probably wouldn't have done a spray-in bed liner.
Really?
But either way, I still think that's like a necessity to have a bed liner in your truck.
Yeah.
Because if you have a truck,
Dude,
you need to be
slip
able to
on the
use it.
fucking plastic thing. I feel like you would be able to just. If it's
Oh,
wet enough.
you can.
With
but
the spray and bed liner, I mean, that's that rough material. I feel like
it is, but it still
grips to your
slides.
shoes.
Oh,
Not
to your
as mu-
shoes,
right,
yeah.
if you're up there.
Yeah, if you're standing in the bed. I'm
Yeah.
talking more like cargo loads.
Oh yeah.
But, I mean, the cargo
it's
loads,
harder to push it on there. That's
Yeah.
for sure. Sometimes.
it's one of those. It's not a huge deal. But, like, for me, like, just, like, throwing random stuff in the bed. Like, when we go to shows and
Yeah.
I load the bed full of stuff, like, if I didn't have a bed liner, the bed would be just scratched to crap.
Oh yeah.
And it's just
Yeah.
it's gonna annoy me.
Yeah. There's people that come in here that you can see that they've used their.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. What do you call that? Their bed.
The bed.
The bed.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just scratched to shit.
Well, it's like, you can do a bed mat too, which at a bare minimum I would do a bed mat.
Yeah.
But I guess that the only way that I would do that is if the only thing I was ever putting in the bed of my truck was a golf bag.
Yeah.
Like,
Which that reminds me now, the carpet things that they put on the beds too. Oh,
yeah, the bed mat, bed tread.
Yeah.
no.
So between,
What the heck do they call those?
I think it's bed tread.
Bed tread?
Pretty sure. I think so.
Bed rug.
Bed rug.
Yeah, there's a sign right there for it. That's what I remember.
Bed rug. But
Bed rug.
between those three, I think I would still go with spray.
I don't
spray
think I
bed
could
rug.
ever do a bed line or a bed rug.
It
The
just-
spraying is nice. I will say I do like my spraying.
It works for people that aren't putting like dirty shit in there. Like people that work on like, let's say, chrome or glass or something.
Mm-hmm.
That would be good for them. But for
I could agree.
the average Joe, spray and bed liner. But
Yeah,
drop in bed is the same. I mean, you protect your bed.
it's simple. It's
Yeah.
half the cost.
Yeah.
So, all right. I'll go with my number 2, which I never would have told you this if I wouldn't have put one on my truck, but a pedal commander. Like, and there is a big 50-50 debate that
Over
I've
the
seen
super chips?
online. No, over the pedal commander.
I mean, but would you compare both those, super chips and pedal? Or is it two different?
Two totally different
Okay.
things. Yeah, because the pedal commander does not communicate with the computer at all. Doesn't alter anything. All it's doing is amplifying a signal to your throttle to give it a quicker response.
Gotcha.
So, because all these newer trucks, they come with so much lag in the pedal because the pedal's got to communicate with the computer and the computer's got to communicate with the motor to tell it to go. Well, that creates a little bit of lag, and on like my truck specifically, having an EcoBoost, I've got pedal lag and I have turbo lag. So if I'm trying to really get on it and get out in front of traffic, it'll fall on its face almost if I don't have the pedal commander. But with the pedal commander, like I can literally amplify that to the point where it jumps. Like the truck, like you've driven it when I've had the sensitivity way up.
It's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
You barely touch on that thing, you're already flying.
Yeah. And the other crazy part about it too is if you don't like the factory sensitivity, which I don't know anybody that wants to be less than the factory sensitivity, but if you wanted to, you can neuter the results of your sensitivity.
So you can go slower than factory, or
you can practically have to, like on the extreme side, on the low end, you practically have to floor it to get moving.
I feel like if I had a grandpa I didn't know how to drive, I'd neuter his truck. I'd be like, you need to slow down.
Yeah, you need to get off the throttle.
Yeah. If I knew he was a bad driver.
The cool thing is too, if you were in the car with him and you had it on his car, you just take your phone out and start adjusting it while he's driving it.
Oh my god!
I've done that to friends before driving my trucks. It's fun. It's fun. Yeah, like you throw you're sitting at a red light and you throw the sensitivity all the way up, and they go to step on it and it just jumps and chirps the tires.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. Man. It's pretty funny.
That's awesome.
So, but yeah, that's something. Like I said, that there's a lot of people out there that say that they don't like them, which some of their arguments I just don't agree with, because they say that it's messing with the computer, and I don't agree with that. Yes, it can mess with the computer, but that's only if it's installed improper. If it's installed properly,
isn't it just plug and play?
As long as the computer is not awake when you go to plug it in, it's fine.
I mean awake, like it's turned, like the car's running?
No, so you don't want to turn it on with the key, or don't want to plug it in with the key on, because you have to disconnect the throttle cable from the pedal.
Oh, okay.
So, like the newer trucks, like new Super Duties, when you walk up to the truck, the lights come on if it has a proximity.
Oh, yeah.
By doing that, you've now woke the computer up.
Gotcha.
So what Pedal Commander has told us to do is to ensure that when we install them, that the key is inside the building or installed inside the house, wherever it is. Away from the vehicle.
Unlock it, but
unlock it, let the computer kind of like manually shut down, and then walk out there and turn it on, or unplug it and plug it in. If you do it incorrectly, it's not a huge deal. It just throws a code, which you just unplug it and plug it back in. Yeah. Like mine did it. It is what it is. Like that's how we figured it out. Is I called Pedal Commander.
Gotcha.
And so, but it's not a big deal at all. I've been running mine for 3 years, no issues, and I adjust it on the daily, like just depending on how I want to drive.
Yeah.
And so it's that easy. And so something that I would highly recommend on any newer vehicle.
Yeah.
And so yeah. Number one, huh? Yeah. We're just jumping straight to number one.
Or yes, I can do number two too.
What's your number
two? Number two.
Well, I guess yours was the spray and bed liner.
I have the spray and bed liner, but now I'm thinking, what else if I had a truck? What else I would do to it?
I mean, we can just jump straight to number one now, because you already said your number two.
Yeah.
I mean, number one for me, and I have a feeling yours is probably the same, tonneau cover.
No.
Wow.
Yep.
Really?
I had wheels and tires.
Wheels and tires, huh?
I feel like if I want to make that truck unique to me, wheels and tires. Tonneau cover.
Oh, absolutely. Okay. 1,000%. I agree with that.
If I pulled it off the lot, the first thing that I want to do is change
make
wheels
it your
and
own.
tires. Yeah.
Yep. I would absolutely agree with that. Yeah. That's a major thing that I feel like not a lot of people who buy new vehicles do right away. Mm-hmm. But it's a big investment.
Yeah.
Like nowadays it's $3,000. $3,000. Yeah. Like for the cost of what wheels and tires are nowadays, especially even in stock size, it's $3,000.
Yeah.
And so I mean it's a big chunk of change. I can understand why people don't do it. My number one was going to be tonneau cover. Yeah. And this kind of goes for any tonneau cover. There are certain ones that I prefer, but this goes for any of them.
How do you like your new one?
It's all right.
Yeah.
There's things I like, things I don't like.
Yeah.
But
is it the manual one?
Yeah. I wish I would have done the automatic, but the problem is I put the automatic on flares, and he hates it.
Yeah.
But that's also a shrewd, like...
You're taking one opinion from one guy, but the next person...
But his opinion is based off of what he does and where he lives.
Right. So, like, if he lives
I'm in a totally different... Yeah, like, he's on gravel every single day. He's out working, using the truck every single day. That thing opens every single day.
Yeah.
And for me, it's just simply not going to be like that. Like, I drive gravel, but I don't drive gravel like he does.
Right.
I work out of my truck, but I don't work out of my truck like he does.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I would not utilize it the way that he does, and that's why it doesn't work for him, is because he needs something that's a little more durable.
Heavy duty, durable, is going to last with the rocks,
because
after we did all that shit that's out
after
there.
we did that one GMC last week that had the electronic cover on it.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty much the same as mine, but it was electric. After we did that and had mine side by side, 1000% would do an electric again.
Yeah.
And normally I don't recommend retractable covers, period, but I don't know. I would do an electric if I did it again. I don't mind my manual, but having a lifted truck, it's a pain because it's just tall enough.
Yeah. You need a little step stool. So I could imagine myself. I'm like, what, 5'6"? So imagine me trying to push that thing out there.
Yeah, it's not fun. I'm curious how it's going to do in the winter.
Yes.
And so
that's another thing.
Yeah, that's gonna be the true
snow melts
test.
And gets stuck in those, and then freezes overnight.
Yeah, it's gonna be the true test. I mean, the Retrax one. The nice thing is their bearings are a little bit different. They don't use like the typical metal bearings.
What do they use?
I don't remember the exact material of them, but yeah, they're like a poly, something like that. Still greased, but they're not metal, so I don't have to worry about like rusting.
Nice.
So, and it's an aluminum cover, and so that's kind of nice. But yeah, there's just subtle things that I don't like about it, but it's the things that we always have said that we don't like about retractables.
Yeah.
So I'm not super concerned with it. I mean, you know, the reason why I did it is to try it and see if it's something that we want to continue
to promote.
If we want to, if they've changed from what our opinion was years ago.
Yeah.
So, so far it's changed a bit. I will say I've probably talked to more people about retractable covers now that I have one of my own than I ever did before.
That's usually how it goes, right? Like if you buy a new vehicle, it's like, oh, I've never seen this vehicle before. Then all of a sudden you see it everywhere.
Yeah, pretty much.
So this, like you got a retractable, now everyone's
using it. And I noticed that I was driving down to our storage the other day, and there's a dude in front of me that had the same retractable cover as me with the Rhino Rack bars on it. Yeah. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And then I remembered I have Rhino Rack bars for mine. And I was like, shit, I need to put those on.
Yeah.
And so, well, I mean, like, going right off the tonneau covers there, we'll just get straight into this debate that we've got.
Yeah. Which I kind of want to add, now that we've been talking about retractable ones, like you said, we're doing folding, rolling,
and retractable.
In there,
So, great debate. Tonneau covers. And this goes for soft and hard. Obviously, the retractable ones are only going to be hard ones, but this goes for soft and hard tonneau covers. What is best? Folding, rolling, or retractable? Retractable is kind of in its own category. But like folding or rolling?
Yeah. I feel like me and you agree on this, and we prefer rolling.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, it's easier. Yeah. You don't have to worry about if you can fit, like if you do construction work, you don't have to worry about fitting things in there. You're not limited to what you can do. The folding ones, I don't know. I mean, I'm not a fan. I hate that.
It takes the right one.
I just hate that if you do all the way, it still limits what you see through your back window because it just blocks it. So now you can't see anything when you're turning back around. You have to rely on the side view mirrors and then if you have that camera in the back. But I'm a look around the back type of driver. So that's one of my biggest issues is that, and then it limits what you can put back in.
Yeah, I mean, that's any hard cover. That is the case for sure.
Yeah.
Now the big thing that like I always say, if it's a folding cover, you have to watch which one specifically. So like a soft folding cover is 100% gonna take up a third of your bed space.
I didn't know there was a soft.
Yeah. X-Thing, the trifecta.
Really?
Yep. X-Thing trifecta is a folding cover. I had one on my Ram.
It's a soft.
It's a vinyl. Yeah, vinyl folding, but it sits on top of it looks like a truck sport, but it folds. But you lose a third of your bed space.
Gotcha.
Very easy to use, very easy to install. Like it's literally 2 wing nuts at the front towards the cab, and then the pieces on the back, like you pull down and just latch under the bed rail. Like
Gotcha.
It's super simple. So I mean, as far as ease of install,
Great.
amazing.
Yeah.
But like on the soft side of things, the rolling covers, the ease of use and the bed access,
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Like the Low Pro and the Pro X15, you're literally, I mean,
One latch.
yeah, one latch, roll the thing up. It's a one-person job. It takes up no space in the bed when it's fully rolled up, so you really don't need to remove it. But if you needed that extra 2 inches that it takes up, it's got those 2 easy latches to be able to pop that cover off right away.
And it comes off.
Yeah, it takes up no room on the window, so you have you can fully see out the back window.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's
Then
what
the
I
hard
like.
rolling ones too. I mean,
Yeah, the
Century
hard
CT,
rolling ones are
man,
kind of function the same way.
super easy. One latch rolls all the way back.
Yeah, take up a little bit on the window, take up a little bit more bed space, but once again, easy to remove.
Yeah.
Like 2 latches and you're done. Throw it back on. You can't mess it up when you put it back on as long as the rails are installed properly.
Yeah.
So, but like looking at like the backflip one, the rolling one on that,
Oh,
I'm not a fan. I would rather do the Truxedo one.
the ones that has those plastic clips that.
Yeah, the
attach
clips that are on there, which
Yeah, yeah.
I get the point. Security wise, they're great, but around here when it gets so freaking cold, I've seen them break plenty of times.
Or it just becomes a hassle now to have to get replaced.
Yeah, it's
or-
covered under warranty, but it's a pain.
Yeah.
It's something that you don't want to have to deal with if you're out in the middle of nowhere.
One and done. That's
Yeah.
how I feel.
Yep.
If I'm gonna do something, I don't want to deal with it.
And if you need to remove that one, it is easy-ish,
Ish.
but you have to get in the bed. It's got 2 wing nuts on either side that you have to undo, which, like I said, pretty easy, but I don't know. I don't want to do that. I would rather just hit the latch and call it good.
Yeah, be done.
And
With
so the folding ones, why I don't like the folding ones versus the rolling in the hard category, every panel individually has its own latch. Just not a fan of that. I
Yeah.
don't want to have to reach over my bed for every panel
it. Yeah.
to try and reach a latch. Like for my truck lifted, not happening.
Do they have an automatic one?
No, none undercover.
Or just
Oh
hydraulic? just lift it up?
no. I don't think anybody has
Oh
that.
my goodness.
But
Hate it all.
yeah, so every panel individually has a latch,
Yeah.
and then it folds up and latches in place. And there's a few different covers that operate differently, and they still fold up against the back window, which that's where you're going to be able to utilize the most of your bed. But it does cover the back window fully, and you're usually not gonna drive around town with nothing in the bed of your truck with it open. Like a hard one, whatever, or a rolling one, whatever. You're just gonna, who cares if it's rolled up all the way?
Yeah.
The hard one, folding, I don't know, it takes up a lot of space. It looks ugly.
Yeah.
But to that point, and Matt will say this to the death of him, if you are needing to use the full access of your bed, say like for a couch, you ain't looking out your back window anyways.
Yeah.
Like it's blocking your back window no matter what. So whether you have a cover sitting there or whatever you're hauling is blocking it, you're still blocking it.
Fucking Matt, devil's advocate always.
I know, and sometimes it works out. Like
His logic is there though.
I always go,
Yeah.
like when I'm talking to a customer, that's one thing I always say. Because, yeah, it's a downfall to me, but to that same point, does it really matter?
Yeah.
Like you said, you turn around and you look out the back window. But
How
if
the
you got
fuck-
something blocking you already,
Yeah.
how are you looking out the back window?
Yeah.
And so, I don't know. And then the retractable covers, they take up a bit of space. It's not a ton of space. Even in 5.5 foot bed, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I just thought of another one though. The one that it's a single piece and it just lifts straight up.
Oof.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do.
What do you call those?
One piece tonneau cover.
Okay. Easy enough. One piece tonneau covers.
That's
don't
for
care
the
for
guy. That's for the guy that buys a truck that doesn't need a truck.
Put the spoiler on the end of it too.
Oh God. Oh my God.
Oh man.
I've seen that
Not
too
a
many
fan of
times.
those.
No, not a fan.
No.
They have
But
their
they're out
purpose.
there.
Yeah, they have their purpose.
Security.
I mean, like I said, for the guy that is gonna put the bed rug in his truck,
Yeah.
that's probably the tonneau cover for
That's
him.
him. That's right.
Yep.
You can get them painted to color match the vehicle too, can't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's for him.
Yeah, 1,000%. Yeah, and I still sell. I mean,
I've
shoot.
seen a few come by here.
Yeah,
like,
we
at
probably
least-
sell 2 a quarter.
Yeah.
Um,
In my year that I've been here, I've seen 3
yeah.
or 4.
Yeah, so it's about 1 a quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those they don't
not as
come in
common,
often, and
but when they
usually,
do,
and they want it. They come in and they know they want that.
You
So-
can try to sell them anything else. You're like, nope, this one.
Oh, I don't even try.
Okay.
If they come in and they say they want a 1-piece tonneau cover, here's your options.
Yep.
There's 4 different options. Take your pick.
Yeah.
And then do you want it painted?
Do you want to paint it?
Yeah. I don't even like. They already know they want it. They've probably had one before.
Yeah.
Most of the people that
What's
I've
the
sold them
age
to.
demographic that you see that? Because
Ooh.
I feel like it would be in your older side.
Yeah,
45
definitely.
up.
Yeah, I would say probably 45
No
up.
offense to the 45-year-olds. That might not be old to them, but
No.
I'm 25, so
Yeah.
fuck off.
The thing is, so like I said, that's the guy that buys a truck, that wants a truck, but isn't going to use a truck. Like, he's driven a truck his whole life, but now he has no reason to have a truck, but he can't get rid of it.
Yeah.
That's for that guy. Which, hey,
He can, he just doesn't want
whatever.
to. Yeah.
It's like, I don't care,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's
just
not for me.
It's not, yeah.
Not for me.
Function-wise, not right now.
Yeah, it has its purpose.
Yeah.
Just like a bed rug. It is what it is. But I don't know.
So I think
I mean-
re-rolling.
Yeah, I would say my recommendation would be rolling, and that's kind of the way I lean in all my sales.
Yeah. We need someone else that's against this because it's not much of a debate. We're like,
Yeah.
we agree.
I feel like
Same.
Nate might be on the folding side. We'll have to ask him
Yeah.
in the next podcast. I have a feeling he's on the folding side. Matt is 1,000% on the rolling. I mean, he's got the rolling cover.
Yeah.
And he likes it. There's some things he doesn't like about it, but I think that's that cover specifically. I don't think that has to do with rolling or folding.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's just, yeah, I think rolling has got to be the winner of that. And so, for us,
It's just easy.
yeah, easy
Like
use.
they said, one and done.
Mm-hmm.
You want to take it off? Snap. Off.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're on your way.
Easy. Simple. And
Love
so,
it.
well, another thing that we wanted to talk about today is our interactive garage program. Now, I'll give you a quick rundown of what this program is. Essentially, it's on our website. You can check it all out for yourself at ultimatetruckoffroad.com. This program is a interactive tool to render what your vehicle is going to look like. Big quotations there, because it has a good
big.
purpose. It's not perfect. It has all sorts of options, everything from bumpers, tonneau covers, steps, lift kits, wheels, tires, vent visors, bug shields. I mean,
Lights.
it's got everything.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's not perfect. But they're working on it every single day. Like, that's the great thing about this program is we got into it a few years ago. We didn't utilize it the proper way. And now we have the opportunity to actually utilize it the right way. And so we got back into it, and I really like the new program versus the old one because it has more on it. The more you have, the better it is.
Yeah.
So that's a quick overview of it. Like I said, test it out for yourself. It's something that's unique to what we do.
It's like a pimp my ride online, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Put in the truck and you
Very simplified version of a pimp my ride.
gives you ideas of what you can do.
Some of the stuff that you put on the truck is amazing how, like, realistic it looks to the image.
Yeah. Did it turn off?
Yep.
Is it back on?
Yep. It is. Hopefully that first part recorded.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would rather see more products than the offsets of the wheels and everything. That is just how I feel about it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the ones that we've done more stem from the products rather than the wheel and tire stuff.
Yeah.
Like bumpers and everything. Steps is a really big one because everyone always asks how they look on their vehicle.
Yeah.
And so I know you've dealt with that.
Yes.
And so, yeah, I mean, what do you like about it?
The how easy it is to use. It's user friendly.
Oh yeah.
You put in, give your make,
Easy.
model, year. You can do that. I mean, I really wanted to jump into the things I don't like, which is
Okay,
it
go
doesn't
for it.
have everything.
Wow.
It has a lot, but it doesn't have everything.
And the thing is, it takes time. And I talked to Ryan about it, the guy that created it, who owns it, who's continually working on it. I talked to him about it, and it was a little eye-opening. Like, for example, they have a section on there for Line-X, for spraying bed liners, and like a few other things that they do, like rocker panel sprays in the wheel wells, undercoating, that kind of stuff. That's all on there, but it's listed under Line-X. Mm-hmm. We don't use Line-X.
Yeah, no.
We have an outside company that uses a different source of product. But I was like, I contacted Ryan and I was like, hey, why can't I use the Line-X images on the program that don't say Line-X for ours and just label it as a generic bed liner and everything? And he said normally that would work. The thing is everything that is on there, on that program, the company themselves has paid to put that imaging on there. Has paid Ryan to render that image to them. So I see where that is. He's not going to use Line-X's images that they paid for another company, because that leaves that removes the market for another company who does spraying bed liners to come in and pay to be on his program.
Yeah.
Because now there's a generic option. Why does anybody else need to be on there?
Yeah.
And so I get where he's coming from on that, and that is fully understandable.
Is that the same thing with vehicles too? Because I know that there's people that definitely came in and said, hey, I can't find my truck. Do you guys even work on this? And it's like, yeah, we do everything truck, Jeep related, but their vehicle isn't on there.
The vehicle thing is more based on what they have available to them as far as the rendering images and everything, and then as far as like
so it's not
what
as
product.
Easy as, let me Google this your truck and put it in there.
No,
need to get licensed.
Because the other thing too is the companies themselves, they choose what products they want on there and what part numbers. So if they only say, hey, we only want part numbers for the new F-150 on
18
here,
and up,
then they're not going to care about the body style before. And I think that's a good kind of segue into like how this program can improve. Is I don't think it needs to improve as far as going back in years, because everything's going forward. New body styles are constantly coming out.
Yeah.
Like, there's no reason to go back and...
Well, there is a small trend with the square bodies going on around
Yeah,
here.
but you're not going to render that on that.
Yeah, I know, but...
Yeah, I was going to say, that's... Like, this program is for newer vehicles.
Yeah.
1,000%. But, like, for example, the 04 to 08 F-150. There's no reason to put that on there.
Yeah.
Like, by now, that truck, majority of them are not even in the condition where you're going to care about putting money into it.
Yeah.
But a new F-150, the world is yours.
Yeah.
So, I think they're doing the right thing and not focusing on going back and just focusing on going forward. And so, I think that's pretty good. I mean, we've seen a lot of new quotes come in from the Interactive Garage. Mm-hmm. So I know you've seen them, and you've talked to quite a few people that have done it. I mean, what's your take on that?
It helps us on the back end, figuring out exactly what this customer wants, so we can go in ahead and look at all the things that they wanted on there, get pricing for them, so as soon as they either walk in the door or they give us a call, we already have, hey, yeah, we have this quote already set up for you. This is our prices. This is how much it's going to be. Obviously, again, there isn't everything on there, so they call or they come in, they're like, hey, but I also wanted this, this, and that, so.
Yeah, it gives us opportunity to upsell.
Right, so it gives us that, helps us
gauge what they're
interested in and go from there.
Yeah, absolutely. And like that, it helps us on the other side too of, hey, what products should I be bringing in? Like, what products should I focus on pushing? Because we see all those quotes come in, and if 10 of
You
these
see a
quotes
trend of-
have NFAB Epic steps on them,
Yeah.
well, maybe I should look into stocking the NFAB Epic steps because a lot of people are liking them.
Yeah.
Or maybe I should look into pushing that step a little bit more rather than the Predator Pros.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've definitely noticed it. I mean, since I answer back to all those quotes, I can see kind of the trend in what people are using this system for and what people are liking as far as products.
What vehicle it works with, what it looks well with.
Yeah. I definitely see a trend in NFAB steps, period.
Yeah.
But on the Chevys especially.
Really?
Like almost every Chevy that comes across on the quote system it's got NFAB steps on it. Like, I don't know, they look good.
Yeah.
Like, I love them. And the nice thing is that program's done a really good job of displaying them on the vehicle.
Yeah.
So they look very realistic to it. And
I guess I need to look back into the program. Does it show, like, if certain steps don't work with a certain vehicle, it won't show them on there, right? Like, it only gives you what works with that vehicle.
It renders part numbers specific to that vehicle.
Okay.
So if NFAB does not have a part number specific to that Chevy 1500,
It won't
it will not show up on there.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, and that's the other good thing too, is for us, it gives us part numbers rather than us having to look it up every single time to quote it out.
So it filters what's specific for that vehicle. This is your
Yep.
option. So
It's specific to that vehicle.
So that's another easy,
it's
a helpful tool for us.
It's very
as well.
easy. The only thing I will say is it's not 100% up to date all the time. Because I have noticed a few times where, like, Rough Country, for example, Rough Country changes their part numbers, but, like, I feel like they don't tell anyone that they change their part numbers because it's the same kit.
Yeah.
And as they do that, then it doesn't get updated in the system. It goes into our quotes, and then I try to quote it out that way. Well, this part number's not real, so now I got to look it up this way, which not a
This one
huge
doesn't
deal.
work, yeah.
Not a huge deal, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
But just something that could possibly be better, but I feel like that's more on the manufacturers than it is the program.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I think the program is phenomenal. Like, our amount of quotes that we write have doubled, if not tripled, because of this. Because every single day I get 3 to 4 quotes, if not more, that come across on our email. And so
Yeah, I see them come in pretty often.
yeah, and the turnaround from email or interactive garage to actual sale, substantial difference. Like, I'm very impressed with that. And so they said that selling on there would probably be the best way to do it, but I don't know. I don't like selling online, at least not yet. That might change, but right now I just don't think there's a reason to do it.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, that's my take on it. I like the system. I haven't really seen any other systems that are like it,
Yeah.
or at least as good.
I haven't either. I've been
Yeah.
interactive garage only, so.
Mhm.
And it doesn't help that I don't look anywhere else. I feel like this is the model to go after. So.
Yeah, and it's specific to our business. Like,
Yeah.
there's cars in it too, but majority of the vehicles on it are trucks.
Yeah. So it works for us. It fits.
Yeah, for us it's great.
Yeah.
And so, all right, last thing for today's podcast, we wanted to talk about our off-road dream trip.
Yeah.
Where are we going? Let's go with you. I think we already all know mine, but
Mine is out of the country. I'm
Okay.
going to Australia.
Australia.
Yep.
Tell
looked it
me
up.
about this.
The Australia Outbacks, man. Let me tell you something. First place that I'm going is the Simpson Desert French line. Picture red sand, dunes, maybe some water, but it's just a mirage because there's no fucking water out there.
Damn.
Animals are dead because it's
Oh.
hot as shit. All you see out there is scorpions, but the drive there, the scenic view, the sun coming down.
So it's just wide open desert.
Wide open desert. It's about, so to get through that desert, it's like a
Okay.
4-day trek. But the specific place that I'm talking about, the French line, is like a 12-hour drive. So you can split it up however you want.
Okay. What's it like? Why that drive specifically?
I don't know.
Versus any of the other ones. I'm sure there's other ones, but why that one specifically?
That one specifically?
Yeah.
I saw it on National Geographic, actually. So they talked about the Simpson Desert.
Okay.
And then I looked into it, and there's a some trails that people take, the French line.
Yeah.
It's just a one way. So if there's a car coming in front of you, you better get the hell out of the way, or they will get out of your way. And you have to have like specific flags, like in front of your vehicle, so that when you're going up a dune, they can see something coming, and you both either stop or. But I saw it on National Geographic, and I thought it was just the coolest place ever. I know it's a desert, so it's not as appealing to most people.
But pretty eye appealing.
Yeah, like it's one of those like, it's a new place that you've never seen before. So obviously everything's gonna be like, holy shit, this is awesome.
What would you take out there?
I would definitely take a Toyota 4Runner.
4Runner.
Yeah. So, why? Because I like it. That's about it.
Comfortable.
It's comfortable.
It's comfortable.
It's awesome.
Damn, that's a trek.
Yeah.
Like, I would not have expected that.
I have multiple locations though. I have
What's
one more.
what's your next one?
Gibb River Road. It's also in Australia.
Also same place.
Yep.
Okay.
It's on West Australia though, so not in the desert in the center of it. It's West Australia, and we're talking. All you're gonna see out there is water gorges, right? So just waterfalls, all that fun stuff.
Yep.
So the trail runs alongside the river.
That's kind of cool.
You can either go up
the
desert, river,
right?
Sort of. Yeah.
I mean, obviously there's a river, so it's not like desert, but like sand.
There's more. Yeah, it's a sand trail.
Okay.
You can either go up the river or down the river. I would probably go down the river because then you get to the cities. But anyways, secluded watering holes, so you can go skinny dipping. Like if you find a specific
I know
one
you're
that's
big on skinny
secluded by
dipping.
itself. Yeah, we'll go do that stuff. It's a 12-day trip though.
Oh.
So this is one of the longer, more extended trails.
But that's a once in a lifetime trip.
Exactly.
Like,
and there's a lot.
You're gonna do it
landmarks
once.
that you can see on there.
You're probably not gonna do it twice. You're gonna do it once.
One and done.
12 days.
A lot of specific landmarks, like watering holes that are like a well-known area.
Like historic
watering holes. There's one specific big tree, the bimbo tree.
The bimbo tree.
Yeah, well, bimbo prison tree, and it's.
I'll have to look that up.
It's pretty sweet. It's humongous. Like it's.
Is that the one that you always see in pictures?
Possibly.
Like people standing there.
It looks close to it, yeah, but it's.
That might be here.
In that region, there's a lot of those, yeah. Yeah. Anyways.
That'd be kind of cool.
Just.
I could see this.
Australia, like.
Yeah.
What else? Everything out there's trying to kill you. Is what I've heard.
Ain't that the truth?
So going down those trails and looking at all the animals that are out there, I mean, for me, that is my dream off-road trip. I want to be able to be part of nature, see the animals.
Oh, yeah.
See everything that's around you, the environment, and
that's a different one. I'm gonna be completely honest. I did not think of an out of the country trip. I only was looking at ones, but I've always had one in my head that's somewhat local.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of those.
I travel. I love traveling.
I did not think about worldwide though. I kind of wish I would have now.
Yeah. I was gonna.
We might have to go. We
Africa,
might have to.
But
we might have to ask me this in the next one because now I want to research worldwide trips.
Yeah.
Because now you got my brain turning. But I did in the U.S.
Okay. Yeah. I figured.
And like I said, we talked about this the other day. Like, I already know my trip, and it's one of those, like, it's one that I've always wanted to do. It may not be the perfect trip in the world, but it's one that I've always wanted to do just because I love the area. And that's the Alpine Loop. Colorado. Yep. Down by Silverton, Telluride, Ouray, that kind of place. Which, high possibility that I might be doing that very soon.
End of July.
Thinking about it. So... but yeah, the Alpine Loop, the thing is it's not a long trek. Like, for us, it's...
8-hour drive.
No, it's more than that.
Oh, wait, yeah, you're down.
It's, I don't know, 13, 14 hours maybe, something like that. So it's not crazy to get to. The trail itself, like, if you do just the basic Alpine Loop trail, it's a 6-hour trail. I think it's 60-some miles. And it's a 6-hour trail, but that's if you were just to drive the whole time.
Yeah.
There's mining towns along the way. There's a ton of scenic overlooks. There's waterfalls. There's a bunch of different areas where you can stop and look around and hang out. And that's what I want to do with it. I would like to turn that 6-hour thing into a 2-day thing. And spend one day on one trail, one day on the other trail, which the two trails that are the main ones on there are Cinnamon Loop and Engineer Pass. And so I would like to turn that into a 2-day trip, but then I want to extend it even farther than that and explore the trails that are off of those.
Yeah.
Like there's 2 of them near there that are a little more advanced, but it's one that I always go back to and trying, but I don't want to do it alone. I would rather have other vehicles, more experienced drivers with me because I haven't done off-roading enough.
Something happened, yeah.
Yeah. So that's Imogene Pass and Black Bear Pass. Black Bear Pass is like the most iconic off-road trail
Is that
in
the
the
one
country.
you're telling me that's like your tires are right by the side?
Oh, yeah.
And it's just a drop.
Switchbacks up and down. Like it's that is for the experienced wheeler only.
That is for a guy with a death wish. I would hate that. See, you see where I picked? Just flat desert.
They're definitely it's so
I
it
am
is
gonna
rated.
drive in a
It
flat
is
ground.
rated the most dangerous trail in the U.S.
Jesus.
Like,
Nope.
but if you've
I like
ever
my
watched, I know. So and that's why I'm like I can't go alone, and I need to go with somebody who's more experienced than I.
Yeah.
Which I mean, there's a couple people I know in Colorado that are more experienced about it, and if I do end up going to the Alpine Loop, I might talk to a few locals or other people who are up there wheeling, see what they're doing. If they're going on it, and I happen to get into a group of people, who knows? It might be on a whim kind of thing.
Yeah.
But that would be one that I would really love to do because I've watched plenty of videos. I've seen pictures from it. There's some amazing scenery from that pass. But even on the Alpine Loop, the scenery by itself is amazing.
Yeah.
Like, that's what draws me in towards that because I love the
driving
mountains.
through Colorado just on like I-80.
Yeah.
Just looking to your sides, it's amazing. So I
Yep.
can only imagine what it looks like actually driving through those mountains that you see
Yeah, and
driving
that's
down.
and being in a valley.
Yeah.
Like,
That's awesome.
I don't know. That's my dream trip. That is very achievable.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. Well, I'll let you know if that happens.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll be pretty sweet. I think it's 1,000% doable. I would
Yeah.
love to take the Comanche up there when that's done,
Yeah.
but who knows when that's done? I mean, some of the places they're 13,000 feet up.
Jesus.
I think at the highest point it's like 12.9 or something like that.
Yeah.
But like, that's a big overload. That's pretty sweet.
I have a fear of heights. So I feel like me being up that high, looking down at a fucking fall, I would hate it.
Well, it's not like straight down. Like you're gonna roll. You're not gonna fall. You're gonna roll.
Great. That's great.
Yeah, you're just
I wanna
gonna
in a
roll on
vehicle.
rocks.
Yeah.
Oh,
on
I
rocks.
mean, yeah, it won't hurt that bad.
Right.
There's people who've done it and lived and died.
And are paralyzed.
No. I can't say that for sure, but yeah.
No, I'm sure it'd be cool. I'm sure it would be cool. I could be a thrill seeker, but I feel like I would be nervous.
You're
for
more
sure.
of the I just want a vacation.
I just want to relax. I just want to
Yeah.
enjoy the scenery. I don't want to put myself in harm's way.
See,
Skydiving is one of those like
I don't-
I would do it, but like for what? I like
I
being
want to
on
do
the
it
ground.
just to say I did it.
I like being on the ground.
So you don't like flying, do you?
My first flight, which
Yeah.
was like maybe 3 years ago, that I've ever been on an airplane. I was definitely nervous. I definitely held my hand's wife taking off. I was like, oh,
Your wife's hand.
whoa. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I guess she wasn't my wife then, but whatever. My girlfriend's hand, I held it tight. And then landing too was rough. I was like, oh shit. And then we hit some turbulence too, which
What was the
I've
first
never
flight that you
experienced. To Colorado. It was a short flight, like
I was
an
gonna
hour
say,
and a half or
yeah,
something.
That's not a very long flight.
Longest hour and a half of my life.
First
Especially
flight
when
I
we
ever
hit
took.
turbulence. I was like, oh shit.
Oh yeah. First flight I ever
Damn.
took, Mexico.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
It's a long flight.
It was a 4-hour flight. First one I can't say. Sorry, can't say first one because we did go from here to Chicago and then from
Yeah.
Chicago out.
Yeah.
So I guess
Why would they loop
technically
you that far?
because they don't fly out of Omaha to.
I feel like they take you
to
Omaha,
Mexico.
Vegas, Mexico.
Nope, they took us to Chicago. We went to Midway. Yeah. So technically that was my first flight,
Yeah.
but it was connected in with my 4-hour flight
Yeah.
to Cancun.
After that
So-
first one of mine, I was like, okay,
Yeah,
Wasn't that
I
bad.
fly all the time now.
yeah,
I love flying.
flying's fun. It's faster. It's easier.
Yeah, but you can't get to as cool of places.
No. You can just
And that's
look
why
and
like
then you
I
get
almost
lost in the
prefer
clouds.
driving now.
Yeah.
It's just nice. And so, well, that's all that we've got for podcast number 2. Thank you guys for listening in on this and watching it if you're on YouTube. And we'll definitely be back next week. Hopefully Nate's with us next week. we'll have some new topics. I think one that we definitely want to touch on, but we have not done enough research on, is the back orders that are coming from all of our manufacturers. That's one topic that I think we need to talk about.
And I feel like we need to talk specifically to those guys and ask them how they feel about it.
We need to do more research.
Because we have our own
thoughts on it, but I want the backstory.
Yeah.
I want the legit reasons.
We want logistics.
Yep. And so that's something to look forward for podcast number 3. That's all we got today. We'll see you guys later.
See ya.